Hello Facebook, it's Stephen. It's a very sunny afternoon here in Wiltshire and I'm going live. Now this isn't our normal time. We normally go out at 4 o'clock on a Friday, a Monday, sorry. I'm confused this week. And I'm waiting for David to join in. If you want to join in, I'm on Smiletime and you can click the link above and join me live on air as we talk about live video streaming and the ins and outs and what you can and can't do. And I'm just looking for a graphic because what I'd like to do is to invite you to join our group, which is LVS 17. If you search for that in Facebook, you'll find it, and you'll find myself and David and John Upton ready to help, and almost 250 other people who've been broadcasting for either 2 years, 2 weeks, or just thinking about broadcasting. And if you want to find out more about Smiletime and be live, and hello Robert, then do come along and join us. And oh, a rush of guests. Right, so where do we go with this? What I'm going to do, I'm waiting for the video to come through. It's been quite a week here on Smiletime, and I am waiting patiently for the video to come through from David and Robert, and then I shall bring them both on screen. And so we have hello from David, and we have morning from Jen, and morning from Cassandra. Nice to see you all here, and I'm trying to bring David on screen, and hello to Jason, and have I missed anybody? And a very respectful hello sir from Robert. So I'll check the palette, and I'm going to bring David on and see what happens. Now, take those off the screen, and David's signal should be through in a second.
Stephen is all ellipses.
Yeah, should be able to join us. And hello, Kimberly. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. If you want to come on air, then the link's up above, and you're more than welcome to try and join us. And I emphasize the try at the moment. David, could you?
Oh, that's weird. So we're both on Facebook.
Could you refresh and come back in, and we'll see what happens. Right, so that's David. That's Kimberly's message. Yes, nothing much is happening at the moment as far as live broadcasting is concerned. Platforms are on the whole becoming more stable. I'm going to try and bring Robert in. And I had the same result as I had with David. This is going to be one of those afternoons. I'm not quite sure what is going on, but I have two guests, or one co-host and one guest, and as you can see,
I see Robert
responding, or their feet,
and I see David.
I don't see Stephen.
I'm going to take you.
But I see all three of us on Facebook.
And this is anything.
But there are three of us.
Just take people off air, and then yes, and good morning, Michael. Nice to see you, Michael. If you want to join us here on Smiletime, you're welcome to try. I'm going to try and invite David now, and we'll see what happens. That time he disappeared. Hopefully we'll be able to get two of us on screen, which would be good. There do seem to be one or two problems at the moment. If you have been using Smiletime recently and you've done it successfully, could you just hop on the show and talk about it? Because at the moment it looks like we're having problems in inviting people in, which is not too good when you've got a co-hosted show, because I should be over there and David should be over here, but all I can see.
Okay.
Right, if you can see David,
all I see is
would you just post in the comments? It'd be most helpful. Right, I'll dismiss you from the palette.
But on Facebook.
Okay, these things are sent to triers. This is all part of live broadcasting. Right, now, this is interesting. David and I saw each other. Right, okay, I'm going to take the bull by the horns and I'm going to refresh myself and see what happens. Back in a moment. Right, I'm back. Hello.
Okay, I see you.
I see you too. I hear you.
Hold on. I see you on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook.
I see me on Facebook.
Good. In that case, let's go for a break and invite Robert back in. It's behaving very strangely at the moment.
I see dead people, Robert.
All right. The other day, hello, Robert. It's good to see you at last. The other day, yep. Practice makes perfect. So let's just have a look at the chats and see who's joined us recently. And Kimberly is confirming that she can see us. So we are good to go. And Peter's here as well. So I'm just going to try and remove that from stage and bring Peter in. And hopefully.
Now with Smiletime, I was just curious, how many people can you have on again at one time? You can do 4.
Yep. It used not to, and then they did something that fixed it to where 4 didn't break the world.
Is it stabilized yet, or is it still iffy?
No, it worked well. You could have 4 people on, and then I don't know. Apparently, there was issues yesterday.
Okay.
So I don't know what issues they were having yesterday. I honestly haven't been broadcasting live that much. So
yeah, I know.
Well,
you've been in my
yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for Peter to come in, but just a tale of broadcasting. 3 weeks ago, Peter had a guest, Philomena, and he was going to go live at 2 p.m. Eastern. And he did go live at 2 p.m. Eastern, but he forgot to press the Facebook Live button. The net result of which is that he was live here on Smiletime, but he wasn't live on Facebook. Last night at 6:55 or 1:55 your time, Peter was here again with the same guest. I was here as well. And then a message came up at the top of the screen saying, you cannot go to Facebook Live at the moment. Which means that he is now batting 2 out of 2 shows which have not gone right for his particular guest. And I think that when he gets to back for a third time, who knows? I don't think it's going to be here, though. Right, we have a question from Jason.
Well, it's important to note that people have issues with all the services.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's just the nature of live at this time. You've got way too many out of control elements that you can't dictate anything over. And that alone is why I say, if it's mission critical, don't do it. And that's one of the reasons that I don't like using the term show and doing all these. Now, some people have the ability to, some people are getting their shows produced by other people. They're using Wirecast and all these different types of things, and that's fine. But you got to remember that you are using equipment. This was not the intended use of said equipment, nor is your internet bandwidth, nor is probably the router that you have, nor is all this other type of stuff that's out there. So while I know it's frustrating that these things do happen, understand that they happen. It's not platform specific usually, unless the platform is just bad all the time for pretty much everyone. But that's what happens. So, again, if you're wanting to do one-on-one interviews and all that type of stuff, I'm not stopping you. But if it's really mission critical and you want as polished and professional as you possibly can, then I would do something like what people have been doing, Skype interviews. Or one time you could do Hangout interviews. I don't know what's going to happen after April 25th. Some things are going to disappear and they're breaking other things and whatever. But I mean, that's what I would do. And it's not to say stop doing live broadcasting. It's just
the thing is that
take it all with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Smiletime are building this to be mission critical. There was a show on the other night from USA Today.
Oh, that show's been on several times, and I haven't paid attention to a single one. Except to know that they've been on just because I follow Smiletime's page. And that's not to say anything other than, as long as he's taking it with the same grain of salt as the rest of us should.
You had a situation. We've been using this platform for quite a while now. We know the ins and outs, and we know when it's right or wrong and who's got to refresh. But they did a show yesterday where there were two people on it, and they couldn't see each other. So for 5 minutes, they both ran the show. So you could listen to one person and then come back and listen to the other person.
Just like when we were getting going, I couldn't see you, and I guess you could see me, and everybody could see us on Facebook, and then whatever blip would happen, and my microphone and my camera was still engaged, and you were picking up feedback off of that, but I wasn't on stage according to me, and I had to all that type of stuff. It's new. It's brand new. It's not going to be ready for primetime stuff, and you people in your homes and your I'm not going to say ultra low end computers, but you're not using dedicated $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 pieces of equipment.
No,
let's be honest. Okay,
we're not.
And so I don't care if you go buy a $3,000 MacBook; it's still not designed
for this.
Unless that's the only thing you do it for, or use it for. And even still, I wouldn't use a laptop for it. I would use something other than that. But
there's a reason it's called live. That's when things happen, and you guys are going to laugh. My internet and cable is down in the house. I'm working on my hotspot on my phone, and I'm on here. So it's like things happen.
Yep.
And I saw Steven come on, and I was like, oh, let me jump on. I got a little time, and then I was like, how am I going to do this? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go on my hotspot and see how strong it is. It's actually doing okay. But things happen all the time. It's, I have an interview coming up, and that's why I asked you about the 3 or 4. I'm actually interviewing a woman in the next few weeks. We're trying to figure it out, who is a sign coordinator at concerts. And I'm talking to her about social media and the deaf community, about live streaming, how we can do sign language and do all these things to communicate with people. So that's why but the problem is we need an interpreter on screen also besides her.
Right.
So, because it's a different thing, the music industry, the signing, because she gets into she was on Jimmy Kimmel, all this stuff. So that's why I was like, I definitely need 3 people. I know I can do it on Be Live, but I was curious, Smiletime, because I'd love to have the 4th window, maybe to bring some people in.
Yep.
But you don't know what the technology, you can have a bad storm in the area. And it can affect everything.
Yep. You could have heavy internet traffic through your internet service provider that you have absolutely nothing to do, but it's pretty much sucking up all the bandwidth on the node that you happen to be a part of. And you're pixelated and popping in and out and stuff, and it sucks. And things happen. It's live. It's just like live TV.
It is.
Live TV, things happened. They were hilarious to watch at the time, but they were accepted as being live, and that's what.
Remember the old Carol Burnett show? Because we're up there, all 3 of us, and they started laughing in the middle of their skits.
Oh yeah,
and it was live.
Oh yeah.
Right, we have two questions.
Yeah, I saw Jason's.
Right, we'll take Jason's first then.
Yeah, have you used Craigslist on or back page to promote your live streams. I'll be honest with you, I forgot about them. I'm really not on them that much, but that's not a bad idea to get more people to come. If you're promoting a show on a certain time and it's scheduled, it's a great idea. Depending
on why you would do Craigslist. I mean, unless you were doing local. I mean, if you were doing something focused local, being local, and all that type of stuff, you know, that's the thing. I would still throw caution to the wind. I mean, that's like running a Facebook ad for your live event and you not being specific in the demographic that you're targeting to get there.
Correct.
You know, and you know, so what's your demographic? Well, every male and female that lives within North America that's between the ages of 18 and 65. Cool. What are you going to be talking about? Well, we're going to be talking about feminine hygiene products of the 1900s. Okay. Most men between 18 and 65 that I know of probably aren't going to be interested in that. But, you know, you did that. So, I mean, you know, promoting it anywhere and everywhere, it just depends on what you're looking for from the audience and stuff like that. And as long as it's free, take what you get. But how would you know that they showed up? You know, what are you putting in there? What kind of call to action are you putting in there to make sure that that worked for you? Because otherwise it's just a distraction that you don't need to.
If you can't track it, you can't use it, can you?
Not really. Not to see how well it works. And so, you know, no, I've never done it. But, you know, I guess you could.
Yeah. I think it's better, like you said, more on the local side. Like if a restaurant doing some live streaming and you could put it in, like here, it's Northern New Jersey Craigslist. So you could do it that way. So you're really only getting the people that are local or hyper local about your subject, about your situation. Because I don't know if you actually can post to Craigslist like one time to get it on a national level. It's really more of the local. So you would have to, if you want to do national, you got to go into, I don't know how many Craigslists and do it. So you're going to spend an hour and a half posting like crazy, not knowing if it's going to work. But for local, I think it is a decent thing. But what Steven said is important too. Put something in there that is a call to action of some kind so that you know it's working. Because, you know, it's just like any other advertising and marketing tool. If you don't have the analytics to know you're getting something out of it, you're just going to keep doing it. You could be wasting time. You know, time is money.
Yep, indeed it is. And the next question, which is David, going back a bit in our discussion, is what happens on April 25th?
Oh. Hangouts on Air goes bye-bye.
What's going bye-bye?
Hangouts on Air. Google's Hangouts on Air.
Completely?
Yeah.
What replaces it?
Into YouTube.
They are, and so the interesting thing is, what are they going to do with YouTube? And nobody's really heard or seen anything yet. But what's supposed to happen is that all third-party app access to it is done. Okay. And this is something that's been announced and been coming.
I thought it was that they were moving it inside of YouTube the first time they discussed it.
No.
Like
as far as I know, it's on Air itself is actually done. Hold on one second, and I will confirm.
Okay.
2016.
Whilst David's doing that, if you are interested in live video, then you can always join the group that David, John, and I run, which is LVS 17. Just type that into Facebook, LVS 17, and you can find us there and Robert there. And if you have any questions about live video, please join us.
Okay, so I overstepped just a little. It's the Hangouts API is going away. So services that used to use it or do use it, like a number of the webinar platforms out there, and they just
22 Social,
Webinar Jam, which Webinar Jam solved that solution back in January. They've built their own stuff, and they're doing really great stuff with that. So they no longer actually use the Hangout. Well, you have the option to use Hangouts on Air if you want, but it's so much better using their jam session room that I wouldn't. And it still publishes out the YouTube Live. And that's why I was saying the interesting thing would be, what happens with YouTube Live, because right now YouTube Live offers you two ways to go live. You can either use a third-party software and stream that way, RTMP, and get the key and the API and do that, or you can use Google Hangouts on Air, which is done via API. So if the API is gone, then what are they going to do? I don't know. That's what he said.
Good question. Good question. Right, if you are watching this at the moment, then you can say hi and you can join us on air if you press the link up above. And we'll try and get you on air. We've managed to get 3 out of 4 people on air. We'd like to get a 4th, just to prove to Robert that we can get 4 people on here. If nothing else.
Except for Peter.
Even, you know what? Okay, your picture's better now. Your camera was a little fuzzy earlier, but now it's very clear.
Okay.
Now it's clear.
Good. I shouldn't move so fast. That's the thing about that. I should keep still, not move. Peter's given up. He's not going to try to get onto Smiletime ever again. I think that's. I haven't seen any Smiletime shows recently. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday things. I didn't catch one Friday or Monday.
I think there was one Friday. I think there was one yesterday.
Okay.
No, actually, I don't know if there was one yesterday or not. But they were having issues yesterday, so that may be one reason they didn't have one yesterday. I know that Alex has been going live from his channel, the CEO. But I know for the past few weeks, Alex and Allegra and a few others have been busy, which apparently the thing with the USA Today is a result of one of the things that they were being busy about. And that's a pretty important thing to have somebody like USA Today be able to do what they're doing. Just like Fire Talk at one time had the Young Turks.
They did, yes.
And until
I got to jump off. I got to bump off.
Cheers, Robert. Catch you later.
So it's a pretty interesting thing to have those happen, and I probably should catch the USA Today thing once.
Yeah, but I've seen 2, and the first one was perfect. The second one, as I say, the 2 presenters didn't know each other were there. So.
Yep.
And hello to Corinda, nice to see you. And just a note, at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 1:05 Eastern tomorrow, and 6:05 GMT, Corinda is interviewing me, and that should be I'm looking forward to the show, and thank you for doing that, Corinda. Yeah. Right. Okay. Where do we go from here? We're looking for a guest. If somebody wants to join us, then please put your hand up, and we'll try and bring you on air and see that how that goes. But we are whittling down the number of ways you can go live for free on Facebook to 2. That's Smiletime and BeLive.tv. And I know how much
broadcast has apparently been testing. I don't know if it's available to everybody.
Right.
And then there is still the other people. Blue Jeans.
Blue Jeans Social.
Blue Jeans Social.
I can see your comment, Peter, but I'm not posting it.
But you can post it because that's that's one of the things, and I've been very vocal about that, even to Smiletime Direct. If it doesn't work for you, then find something that does. It's free, so you're only going to have so much. But But if it's not working for you and something else works better, that's great. Use that. Come back and try it later on. I had to do that with Smiletime itself. When I first got introduced to Smiletime last summer, it was not a very pleasant experience. It was frown time, not Smiletime. And I abandoned it. I wasn't coming back. It was cute, but it didn't work very well, and blah 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 blah. And so a few months later, I realized that they had done some updates, and so I came back and gave them a try. And they were actually kind of pleased that I came back, and they recognized the fact that I had left because evidently frown time didn't sit well with Smiletime staff. So.
Well, that's understandable, but they did react and they did have a good talk to you, and they've moved a long way forward since. Now, there's a question this morning, and we're covering all platforms here. We decided this morning, Corinda used Minicam with BeLive.tv, and his camera wouldn't open in BeLive. Have you experienced that? Says Elsaby. Right. Okay. Now, I'm going to presume here that, because this happened to me, and cameras are not always recognized. What I did yesterday,
not virtual cameras, and that's one of the things to make it important is that once you use Manicam or Wirecast, you are creating a virtual camera, and it's all software based. Yeah,
that's true. It may not come as one of the options. It's not guaranteed to work properly, because what you're doing is something that as David said earlier, the designers of the system do not expect you to do. So we're using workarounds to get screen sharing and what have you. And but what I did was just to close everything down, or log out, close everything down, come back in, go into the settings again, make sure it had my camera and mic, and then go back up to the top of the screen, make sure that was the same, and then come in again. And if it doesn't work first time, you just got to go ahead and try it second time. And whilst David's taking a breather for a moment,
I'm still here. I just had to.
Okay, Elsaby's saying that, by the way, Corinda produced a show this morning using just comments and his image on screen. It's very good. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to do things, because the captions on the platform, the captions here, are very useful in actually running the show. So you can bring the captions on and off screen, and you can run a show just using captions.
Yes.
Yeah. Because captions are the equivalent of the BeLive.tv agenda. So you could build your captions and then just bring them on screen, and you can say words like, "There will never be any screen share on Smiletime."
No, there will not. That is not their model, and they don't want to do it. And there's not really screen share anywhere that's actual streaming straight into it, except for Blue Jeans and Crowdcast, their options. But their platform's independent, and then offering the ability to stream to Facebook is part of it. So
that's true. And I just want to say hello. We have an hello from Tish. Hello, Tish. Nice to see you.
Tish.
And we've had some fun this afternoon, Tish. We've eventually got on there, and things seem to be stable now. But if anybody who just wants to join us, then just click the link above, and you can come live on air and chat to David and I. So yeah, just a shout out that at 5 p.m. tonight is just a minute. Oh, I'm going to tell you about it. I can't find it. It's Across the Pond with Leland and myself, and where we're talking about happenings on both sides of the pond. And again, you're welcome to join us on there. And Tish is saying we look good. Well, thank you for that. This is Smiletime. We are on Smiletime, and the video quality on here has been steadily improving, and we're hoping that when we get the recording of this afterwards, that Facebook hasn't improved it. Let's use that as a word. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been talking again about the sync of video and voice, and I've had occasion in the last week to actually re-record something, because the download from Facebook is so out of sync.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's nothing we can do about it. If you do get an out of sync video when you download from Facebook, what you can do is Screencast-O-Matic, or what's the one that costs a lot? Camtasia. If you use Camtasia or the Screencast-O-Matic, which is only $15 a year, and this is not an affiliate link, you can set it to record your desktop with the sounds from your computer, and you can re-record in glorious 720, and everything will be in sync. So re-recording is the way to go if you have a video which is out of sync, because so many technologies coming together and it doesn't always work. So re-record if you've got a problem. Whatever you do, do not try to go the route of taking the sound off into an MP3 and then trying to put it back again, because the only problem with that is that the delay or the out of sync varies along the length of the video, and it could take you months to actually get it perfect. So just record the screen and you'll get good quality video and a definitely sync sound, because there's nothing wrong at all with the replays on Facebook. Right. No.
Or you can do a clap.
What? A what?
A clap. Because what will happen now, you still have to use video editing software to be able to sync it up. But when you do the clap,
yeah,
you've got a visual cue, and then when you're in video editing software and you're looking at the audio, you will see the spike, and so you can sync the two up, and then you should be good to go there. Now, one issue I have seen is that Facebook goes out of sync multiple times during the course of a video, and so it can be very frustrating. So Steven's idea may be a more suitable thing. But again, if it's mission critical, and it's really something that you want to do, and I know that we enjoy the raw, live, off the cuff, but I would treat it as such. And then if it's something that you want polished and to be proud of and not have to worry about the other stuff, then I would just do plain old video, either before or after, and use both.
Good idea.
You can have a raw version, and you can have just a regular version. Or you can just stream to YouTube and not have to worry about it, because they fixed all these issues long ago.
Yeah, when Peter's show last night at 7 p.m., I knew that things might go wrong. So I set up the recording, and I recorded the screen and the sound. And then I went away to have dinner. And then I came back and I discovered that I had 30 minutes of a beautiful view of Aberdeen with no Peter and no Philomena inside. So if anybody wants a desktop screensaver, which has no action on it whatsoever, then just let me know. It's a beautiful picture of Aberdeen. If you want to join us live on air, then just click the button and link up above, and you can join us. We're just chatting away about live video streaming and how to have fun. And yes, right, okay, and Elspeth is saying, I'm going to put it there because we actually.
She's mentioning a lot of Windows stuff that I'm not going to.
Oh, right, okay. Mac, Windows.
Mac. That'll solve half your issues.
Shortcut is free video editing software and perfect for syncing on the own video. If necessary, you use Windows Movie Maker. Right, I'm just going to take David off screen for a moment, and I'm going to change the layout so that I'm back down here. Thank you for those. If you could put a link in as well, Elspeth, that would be nice to people to come back to, especially to the shortcut. I'd like to take a look at that too. And David's still on the phone. So where do we go from here? If you didn't catch it last night, just down below in my feed, you'll find my tips and tricks from the BeLive.tv weekly show. And this time I was talking about agendas. And if you want to know how to use an agenda, on BeLive.tv. In a similar way as you can use captions on Smiletime, then check out the video below. It's only about 8 minutes, and you'll also see Hanimura. Now, what was interesting, and it's actually launched today, was Annie was talking about repurpose.io. I'm just going to type that in. Just a minute. Just let me do this, then you'll know. Just let me go down, find the caption. Right, I spelt it correctly. That's always a good start. There is a new application. It's a web page. It's repurpose.io, and it's been designed by Hanimura and his team. And it can save you a lot of time. Basically, what it does. Thank you for the link. What repurpose.io does is it takes your Facebook Live videos and uploads them to your YouTube channel automatically. So you create the live video, you set up repurpose.io, you say, right, I want to take my videos from Facebook Live over to YouTube. I want to go onto list playlist, and I want to use the tags from, yep, a whole range of options available, so that you don't, because I, as you probably know if you've seen me sort of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday on Facebook Live, I do about 6 shows a week. And that means I've got to download 6 videos and then upload the 6 videos to YouTube. And then for each video, I've got to work out the title, an appealing title, put in a full description, and then put the tags in so that people can find it. Now, all of that work, downloading 6 videos, uploading 6 videos, takes me, I would say, around about 6 to 7 hours a week. And repurpose.io is going to stop me having to do that. If you have, I suggest, right, okay, and just give me a moment, because by the magic of this, I can actually bring David back. So if you have more than one Facebook Live video per week, then check out repurpose.io, sign up. It's free to try out. David and I know Hanny. We've known him a long time, since the days of Love. He is a software guy extraordinaire and a good marketer as well. And if you've got Facebook Live videos, you want to go to YouTube, without getting involved, then you can set up a whole series of parameters to take them to a specific playlist. Well, I'll let Hanny explain it. If you go to repurpose.io, you'll find out more about it. And that could save a whole lot of us a whole lot of time. Right, okay. Now, it's a question from John. Hello, John. And John is saying, you're still going to be doing its iOS app?
Facebook Live to YouTube, Facebook Live to audio.
Yeah, oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. It can create an MP3 and put it on Soundcast?
SoundCloud?
SoundCloud, yeah. So you can upload the MP3 to SoundCloud, which basically means that you repurposing the sound content of any video that you're doing without doing a thing, which is useful. John,
so basically, he's taking your stuff and pushing it for you. So, okay.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as I said,
why you would push audio to YouTube, but
no. Well, you wouldn't, but you push your MP4 to YouTube and the MP3 out to the one that you just mentioned. John, I've got a question about your question.
You're still going to be doing it. It's an iOS app. It is. Only runs on iPhone or an iPad. Yep, I've seen that. And I got that because it said available on iTunes. So,
right, okay. I don't have a problem with that. I shall just dig out my iPhone, dust it off,
and we come full circle right back to Apple.
Yep, indeed.
Now, Kimberly says that she's had nothing but trouble with her Mac, and she's going back to Windows.
Oh.
And I would be interested to know what trouble you have had that has caused you so much frustration that you're going back to Windows. Because that's just not acceptable. And I think you'll get removed from my Christmas card list. I don't know. No. I would love to know that. But, I mean, we don't have to tie this up with that. You can.
No. We're not going to have a Mac versus PC war.
And say, this is why Mac sucks. Because there are some people that don't like it. My wife's probably one of them. Every time she goes from her Windows computer to one of the Mac laptops, she's backwards. It's very frustrating. I who that was.
Right. Okay. And Kimberly's just observed, and then she said,
"How much time do you want to purchase?" Oh my gosh!
How much time do you have, David, to go into why? I think that's could well, Kimberly, be a full show. So we might come back. We might have a Mac versus Windows discussion, but that's not live streaming. That's a whole range of things.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I've got fond memories of my Apple IIe and my Apple Mac and Lisa and all those wonderful machines. And Tish is coming back and is even things up. Tish loves a MacBook Air, so there you are. But
I've enjoyed MacBook Airs as well. They're just not as powerful as they need to be for me to be able to edit video. So they're good for other things.
Yeah.
Anyway, LCB uses Libsyn. That's a good publishing for MP3 files, cheap, and it feeds in iTunes, among others. It gives you a broader range online. Yes, it does. Okay. There have been no Mac desktop developments. I'm sorry, I'm reading off of see, it catches up.
I'm trying to keep pace with you.
Desktop developments for some time. Quite a number of desktop users are going back to Windows 10 to take advantage of higher spec hardware.
That's part of a Mac Windows.
That's fine. I half the time I'd probably question, what do you need the higher spec hardware for? The only thing I could come up with, could agree with at any point would be amount of RAM. That is a bit frustrating. However, I can max my machines out.
Yeah.
But I'm doing some pretty heavy lifting. So anyway, hey Pat. For me, it's suffice till I get my Pro. Pro what? iPad Pro? Mac Pro? That's what I would love to have, a Mac Pro.
A Mac Pro.
Expensive.
Yeah, we're talking plenty of dollars, are we?
Well, I had a friend, or actually a coworker, who's been probably just as much of an Apple fanboy as I've been for as long as I've been. He has, and he went and bought, I don't know, it was a $3,000-$4,000 laptop. I mean, and it was a high-end spec hardware-wise laptop. And he runs whatever virtual machine on it, and he runs his Mac OS there. So he didn't have anything to do with Windows 10 except that that's what boots the system up. And so I found it funny.
An offer from Kimberly.
She has a Mac Pro. Do I want it? Is it one of the new ones, the tube? Because if it's not the tube, I don't want the old one. I've actually got one of those.
Being picky now.
Well, the tube is the latest one. The other ones,
yeah, okay.
You can only go so high up in specs. So,
right, I agree with this. We would all have higher spec machines if we had the extra cash to invest in that sort of thing.
Yep.
I mean, you go for the best spec that you can. It's as simple as. And most machines nowadays are a reasonable spec.
Doesn't want
processors and the choice we have. We don't have to go Mac. We don't have to go Windows. We could go Unix. Right.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, you could, and then you're one of those definite diehard geeks.
Probably a coder. You're a coder if you do that.
You are. You definitely enjoy that world. And then it's, what flavor of Unix or Linux, and that whole debate, because I am so glad I got out of that debate a while back. It got really ugly at certain points, and I just relinquished.
Yeah.
Which one you use? Fine, go use it. When it breaks, it's on you, not me.
I know what you mean. Right. Actually, I'm going to start doing some coding. I've got to do some coding. I've been enjoying some broadcasting and doing courses and what have you, but I've got to go back and do some coding. I've got a database to create for the twinning. I'm just reminding myself so that when I play this back, I will know that I've got a job to do. It's a good memoir.
There's a way to repurpose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right. And everybody's saying goodbye to John. John will be with us, or with me. Right. Okay. Now this is a thing. Now, if you are awake at 5 a.m. on the East Coast on Thursday, nobody's going to be on this, so I'm going to restrict this to the UK.
I'm awake.
I know you're awake.
I'm not using the bandwidth to get the. It cuts in and out, so their Wi-Fi is not meant for us to be live streaming. I've tried, but I am up every day.
Well, in that case, you can catch Blabbing for Britain, which is coming from another channel, but there will only be 3 of us because Peter's taking a break at the moment, and we're looking for a 4th co-host. Now, 10 a.m. GMT Thursday. If you want to join us live on air and see if you like it, see if you like presenting a show where we talk about everything that's happening in the UK and surrounds, then please join us at 10 a.m. and you can join us as a guest host. And we're actually searching for a host while Peter is away. So there's your chance to get in with the team. This week is our 70th show. The only people ahead of us are LiveStream Insiders, who I think have done 76 consecutive shows, or almost consecutive shows, and Jojo Keys with his music, which is now quite a swish production, because he has his show produced, and they've been doing. I remember the first shows they did back on Blab, and I think the word that comes to mind is amateur. Because that's how it was back then. But now, if you watch a Jojo Keys production, you'll get beautiful, clear sound. You'll get an interview with the group. You can listen to the music. You can chat to Joe and his co-host, and it's a fun show. Yeah, and thank you, Tish. Tish is saying this about B4B, and we do try to have some fun on B4B against the backdrop of politics in the UK at the moment, which is something which I'm grateful that you and I don't talk about because it's not part of video streaming. Right, now, just one more shout out while we are on air. On Thursday at 3 p.m, you all invited to join Jeff Adams. If you know where Jeff lives, in which group he lives, then check that out and you can go live on Thursday at 3 p.m. and join, I would think, about 50 or 60 other people all wanting to go live at the same time. So it could be an interesting 3 o'clock on Thursday as Jeff Adams hosts his first ever meetup live on air. Anything can happen and probably will. So 3 p.m. on Thursday. So that's Thursday sorted. 10 a.m. I mean, for Britain, 3 p.m. or 10 a.m. The show's on Thursday, you should definitely catch. And finally on Thursday is a show that I'm doing with Jackie Malpass, and we'll be looking at online courses. Right, that's my bit for this week. Yeah. So that's why
you're a busy guy.
That's why I'm looking forward to Hanimura's app. I'm going to dig my iPad.
I'm going to dig your iPhone out, though. Yeah. Gotta dig the iPhone out.
Yeah, I know. No problem with that. Right. Okay. Well,
let's see.
it's gone quiet. Now, the thing we should talk about, I'm just going to talk about because it just happened, is that if you're running a live show, what you don't want is what these broadcasters call dead air, which is
No, you don't want dead air
we
at
don't
all.
want dead air. So we've got a waffle while David's having a look around. And
I was looking for a link. I was going to provide a link.
all right, brilliant. Okay, Annie is brilliant. I agree. I wish him every success with the software, even if it is an iPhone.
Since Steven's doing all his promoting.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, go on, carry on.
I've got a webinar coming up.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
April 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I'd put a link, but apparently I can't spell, so maybe I didn't put the link. So if you go to, you know what, before I send you to it, let me make sure that it actually works.
Good idea. Yes. Okay, so reminders, join LVS 17 if you want to know anything about live video. And David has a webinar on April the 12th, and he's going to tell you all about it in a moment.
In a moment.
In a moment, right?
I promise.
Okay. All good. All good.
Yep. See, I can't spell. That's why.
But these spell checkers don't help either, because they try to second guess what you're trying to type, and they get it right some of the time and get it wrong some of the time. So you can spend up longer typing it than if the spell checker didn't exist.
Okay.
Are you good?
Maybe it's not live. Maybe that's the problem.
Okay.
So the link I was going to give is webinar.zombiemarketing.live, but
okay, yep.
I'll sit there and play right. So maybe because actually, let me do it this way.
Yeah. Okay. Whilst David's sorting out the link, David and I will be back next Monday at our usual time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern. I have, or Angelica and I have a guest from Germany with us this week. So yesterday I had to go to the local station and meet our guest and bring her home. So that's why we weren't on Monday this week. So if you were looking for us yesterday, our apologies, we missed a week. But we'll be back on Monday at 4 o'clock with the ability to answer your live streaming questions. And next week,
well, maybe it'll work for somebody sometime.
Okay, next week we're going to go and have a look, because we said we'd do it this week, but next week we really must, is to go and have a look at YouTube and Webinar Jam. Right, okay, over to you, David.
So eventually, hopefully, that link will actually work. Webinar.zombiemarketing.live. If you go there, it will take you to the registration page. And I've got a webinar coming up on April 12th, Critical Business Factors, the Backup Plan. And this webinar is going to help entrepreneurs. It's for entrepreneurs, small business owners. It's for anybody that has any type of electronic devices that are mission critical to their business. And if the device was gone and the backup was done, they would be lost. We're going to go through not only what is a backup, but we're going to go through the steps of how to actually do a proper backup, what types of devices are good for what and when to use them. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come join me. Webinar.zombiemarketing.live, whenever that link decides to try and work. April 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I know Steven's going to get a nap that day so that we can meet up at midnight.
Midnight? Is that a challenge? I could do this, you know.
Yeah, I've seen you. I've seen you late at night.
I'll catch the replay. That's my first bet. And then the second one is that I will actually catch you live and surprise everybody. Yeah, I mean, I don't broadcast at weekends. I don't think many people do they? I mean, that's not. I'm not saying that's a weekend. I'm just saying generally.
Oh no, I don't know.
No.
Not many. Probably not. No.
No.
But
So if you
anyway,
look,
so that's what I've got coming up, and one of the things I have coming up in April. And otherwise, I'm working with the Rainmaker platform and getting that prepped.
all right. Okay. Tell us a bit about that then.
Rainmaker platform is done by the boys and girls at Copyblogger. And Copyblogger has been around for, oh my gosh, at least a decade. This is a British company. They own and provide StudioPress, which are web WordPress themes based on the Genesis platform, Genesis platform that they've done. And so Rainmaker is actually an all-in-one type solution. Now, more people are probably familiar with all the rant and rave of the latest Kajabi, new Kajabi. So you could kind of equate it to the same thing. New Kajabi is not using the WordPress system. Rainmaker does use the WordPress system. But it's all very. It's your email, your security. You can do podcast hosting. You can do an LMS, a learning management system, membership type system, shopping cart, email, landing pages, everything right there. You don't have to worry about doing updates to the system. You don't have to worry about what does and doesn't work. It's a closed ecosystem. And I made the decision to, it's always been a brilliant system. And I don't have anything against the new Kajabi either. Well, I don't have much against the new Kajabi. Anyway, it's just something that I felt I didn't need to do. And then I was sitting there, I was like, you know, maybe I do need to use it. Because when you start adding up a lot of the different fees that you pay every month for your hosting and your now, if you're doing all low end stuff, if you're on the free MailChimp and you're paying $5 to Bluehost every month and all this type of stuff, you know, then $165 a month is going to see like a huge jump. But when it's your business, when you've got stuff that you want to put together and be able to offer and not have to worry about the maintenance and upkeep of the actual system operating, then it's a pretty good choice to go for. So anyway, my choice has been Rainmaker because I like WordPress.
Yes.
You don't have to know coding. You get access to every theme that's available through StudioPress. It's a really neat thing. My friend Chris Brogan has used it for Owner Media since Owner Media has been around, as far as I know. And there's quite a few others that have used their platform as well. So anyway, it's called Rainmaker.
I look forward to hearing about it.
Yeah.
That's
actually where my head's been in the sand for the past few days anyway, and it's going to be there. Because I was redoing my website, entrepreneursgeek.com. So if you go there, it's very ugly, but I don't care. And I was thinking about a couple other things, and then I've got a couple of things in the works that I'm going to start doing. I was like, you know what? This seems like the solution.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. There is a wide range of softwares out there you can actually use, but occasionally you just run up against one and you think, that's the one. Yeah. So I know where you're coming from on that. And
Chris Brogan sounds familiar. I interviewed him on the Blab platform last year. He was gracious enough and in his busy schedule to be able to. Well, actually, you know what? If he can, he'll do it. He does. I don't know how many interviews in the course of a year. It's not many, but I was able to work with Ron Hood, who does all his scheduling, and we were able to work it out. But yeah, I've known Chris for a long time. 2010. Earlier than that, probably 2009, 2008. I've known Chris for a long, long time, and over the course of the years, he and I have come to know each other. stuff. So
Yeah.
had coffee with the guy and everything. Anyway, he's a great guy. Check him out, chrisbrogan.com. Lots of interesting stuff to help out, to get you doing, building your business. So anyway,
Okay.
and one thing about the webinar, if you are interested in it, and that link does eventually work, because somebody has already asked, it's not free. I don't do free webinars. I don't. It's only $20.
Okay.
And I guarantee you're going to get 10 times the amount of value out of that. And if not, reach out to me and we'll work it out. But it's a way for me to be able to do a more specific webinar to people that are interested in learning. Because let's be honest, we sign up for webinars that are free all the time, don't we? And we have no intention of purchasing anything that the guy has. We have no intention of really enabling anything that's offered. And a lot of times you're really not given that great stuff. And I don't like that. I if I take an hour of your time, I want you to walk away with, a lot of value, something actionable steps, stuff that you can actually do. And not, I'm going to give away the 3 secrets. I'm going to take up the first 20 minutes and give you a full backstory of me. And then I'm going to talk for 10 minutes and then spend the last 20 minutes trying to sell you some product. That's why a lot of people don't like webinars. And I've done them too. But anyway, so it is not free, but it's only $20. And so, 3, 4 soy latte, half calf, half decaf.
I mean, the price
at Starbucks, and you're good.
True. The price you pitched at is very realistic. And for the information that you'd be giving people, a very fair price indeed, because you could go and you could spend hundreds of dollars to the same result. So, we should promote that every week until April the 12th, when it takes place on this link. Sort of bring the link in again. We'll put the link, a clickable link afterwards in the post for the show.
I will, as soon as I can guarantee the link actually works, and I'm really disturbed as to why that one doesn't want to work. So,
okay. Right. Well, I did rather a long intro today, David. So, toss of coin.
You did. I missed it.
I know, that was the whole point.
I missed it.
I know. It was a classic. I'm telling you.
I bet it was. I'll have to watch the replay. Hopefully, it's in sync.
Hopefully, it's in sync. Yeah.
Well, it looks like we've come to yet the close of another hour of LVS 17. Stephen Healey and myself, David Vaughan, helping you with all your live questions and questions that have nothing to do with live as well. What the hell?
True.
If you would like to get help doing more live videos, you are more than welcome to join the LVS 17 Facebook group that Stephen Healey, myself, and John Upton are all admins of. We will graciously accept you as soon as possible. Get you in the group. It's a place that you can ask questions. It's a safe place for you to be able to learn about different types of software that you can use, ask questions about this or that, ask people to help. Hey, join me here and let me test and see what's going on. I've never done it before. Or maybe you've done it all before for 2 years and you're just a seasoned pro and you've got lots of expertise that you can offer. This is the place to do it. LVS 17. You can search for that on Facebook and you will find it.
Indeed you will. So it's goodbye from me. See you all next week.
And it's goodbye for me.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
Now, Kenny, click us off.